Good evening, everyone. Hope I'm audible and screen is visible.
Evening. Good
Please con.
evening.
Yeah. So this is our second session on aptitude, and we shall be covering these topics in today's session. So basically, first is time and work. Second is time, speed, distance. Upstream and downstream is a part of time, speed, distance only. So this one is the second one. And divisibility rule is a part of number system. So as far as quant section is concerned, uh, whenever you study this section, you should always study it in the format of units. So like one unit is arithmetic, which is the most important, which comprises of percentages, which we covered in the last session. Average, again, we covered in the last session. Ratio, covered in the last. Mixtures allegation, covered in the last. SICI, covered in the last, right? These five, time and work, and time, speed, distance. So these seven topics forms the crux of arithmetic, which is the most important in any aptitude based exam in general for placements as well, right? And then there is number system as well, whose first topic is divisibility rule that we shall be doing today. And there is a topic HCF LCM that we will be doing in the next session tomorrow. Right? So let's start with time and work. Now, time and work, time, speed, distance, and one topic I forgot, profit and loss that we did in the last session. So usually, like by experience, we can see that profit and loss, time, speed, distance, and time and work. So these three topics generally has the highest weightage in quant section. Now, profit and loss is dependent on percentage, as we saw in the last session. Time, speed, distance is dependent on ratio, as we will see in today's session. Time and work has an advantage that it is a standalone topic, so it is not related to any other topic. So we shall be starting with this. Now, time and work, when we used to do in school, if you remember, the only thing, the major hurdle which I have seen people making is they don't know what to apply in which question, right? So I'll make your job easier. I'll be telling you two concepts of time and work with examples, and you just have to figure out in question which concept has to be applied. Every question of time and work can be done by these two concepts, right? So the first concept is work is directly proportional to number of people and time. Work is directly proportional to number of people and time. Like, what does it mean? Let's say there are 10 people who are completing 10 units of work. So now if I have 20 people, if I have more people, obviously more units of work can be completed, right? So I can clearly see that work is directly proportional to number of people. More the people, more is the work done. Similarly, if I talk about the relation of time with work, if I have 10 hours, 10 units of work can be completed. If I have more time, let's say 20 hours, so I can complete 20 units of work. So here also I can see that if I have a leverage of more time, I'll be able to complete more amount of work. So work, W, N is number of entities basically, because it can be a person, it can be a machine, or there are questions on pipes and cistern as well, which is a part of time and work only. So N is number of entities, W is work done, T is time, right? So this is time, this is work, and this is number of entities. Now, whenever two things are directly proportional or inversely proportional in maths, what does it mean? So basically, what does it mean mathematically that I am telling you? Because generally people use constant of proportionality K and make their job a bit complicated. Suppose these two things are directly proportional and here A is inversely proportional to B. So what does it mean? If two things are directly proportional, that means A1 upon A2 is B1 upon B2. And if these two things are inversely proportional, so A1 upon A2 is B2 upon B1. right? This is the only thing you have to remember always. Whenever two things are directly, 1 upon 2 is 1 upon 2. Inverse means 1 upon 2, 2 upon 1. You don't need constant of proportionality k, then remove that. It isn't required, right? So work is directly proportional to n and t. So I can directly write that W1 upon W2 is N1 T1 upon N2 T2 by the same logic. Clear? This is the first concept. If you want, you can write this down. We will take some examples as well. First, I'll discuss both the concepts. So basically, in any question where all three quantities are in play parallelly, you have to apply the first one. 10 people completing 20 units of work in 5 hours. So how many people will complete 40 units of work in 7 hours? Something like that. So there you can directly apply this. I hope it is clear. Let's move on to the second concept. Now, second concept says, uh, first let me tell you by an example, then we will reach the result. Suppose there are two people, A, who completes a work in 10 days, and there is a person B who completes a work in 20 days. Right? I have taken two people with different efficiencies. So if A is completing a work in 10 days, in 1 day, he will complete 1/10. In 2 days, he will complete 2/10, and so on. Right? In 10 days, he will complete 10 by 10, which is 1. Right? Similarly, if I talk about B, B is completing the work in 20 days. In 1 day, he will complete 1 by 20. In 2 days, he will complete 2 by 20. So on. 20 days mein, he will complete 20 by 20, which is again 1. So irrespective of their difference in proficiencies or efficiencies, total work has always remained 1. Right? So total work is always equal to 1. And this is obvious as well. See, if you always take like there's a particular amount of work that has to be done. So total is always taken as 100%. The reference is 100%. And if you convert 100% into fraction, that gives me 1 only. Right? So from that logic also you can understand total work is always equal to 1. Now, what is the advantage of this? Like how to use this? Suppose there are three people, A, B, C, and in the entire work, A is doing 1/5 of the task, B is doing 2/5 of the task. So how much C will do? C will also do 2/5. So how are you actually arriving at this 2/5? Subconsciously, what you are doing? You are subtracting the sum of A and B from 1 only, isn't it? So basically, we already know this thing. Just to make it consciously clear, I mentioned that. Right? One more thing you have to observe in this second concept, which will be required. See, A is completing the work in 10 days. In 1 day, A is completing 1/10. B is completing in 20 days. In 1 day, 1 by 20. So logically, to I know, mathematically also, I have to keep one thing in mind. Whenever I'm converting time into work per unit time, it is becoming reciprocal. So this was time and 1/10 is work. It has become reciprocal when I'm taking 1 day as the unit. It was time, it converted into work when I'm taking 1 day as the unit. Now, why I'm stressing on this point is, like if we see an example of this concept. So there's a very basic question which you must have encountered in school as well. For example, there's a question, A is completing a work in 10 days, B is completing the work in 20 days, and how much time will the work be completed if both work together? So if both work together, in how much time the work will be completed? Now the problem is, this is time, this is time. One thing for sure, that if both are working together, time taken will be lesser, right? So I cannot add these two values. I cannot subtract these two values. I cannot multiply these two values. I cannot divide these two values. So basically, I cannot deal with time, though I need the answer in time only. I need number of days only. What I can do is, I can convert this time into work, and then finally will again convert work into time. What do I mean by this? A is completing the work in 10 days. So in one day, A will complete 1/10. B is completing the work in 20 days. So one day may 1 by 20. So I can say that if both are working together in one day, they will complete 1 by 10 plus 1 by 20 work, which can be written as, taking the LCM, 3 by 20. So 3 by 20 work is completed when both are working together. So this is work, but the question is asking me time. So I'll reciprocal this. So this will become 20 upon 3 days, or I can say 6 whole 2 by 3 days. So this is my answer, right? So my learning from this question is, whether the time is asked or work is asked, I generally have to deal in work only, because 5 units you are working, 2 units I am working. So we both will work 7 units. But you are taking 5 days, I am taking 2 days. We both will not take 7 days, right? So in this question, you can see it's a direct application of second concept only. I hope it is clear. Now let's take one more example, then we'll start with the questions. Now suppose there is a question that 20 people are like are making 50 toys. So basically, how many people will be required to build 70 toys? Something like this, right? So this question you can do in both the ways. Either you can do it by unitary method, or you can apply the first concept. So I know number of people, I know work, time is not required, because W1 upon W2 is N1 T1 upon N2 T2, right? W1, first person is working 50 and second work is 70. N1. N1 is 20. N2 I don't know. Time will remain the same because time is not different here. So I can simply find this. So that is 5 14s are 14 2s are 28. So how many people will be required to build 70 toys? 28. So this becomes an application of the first concept. Right. So let's do some questions now. The actual questions that have come over the years in placement. Try this first. All right, some of you are correct. Let's start. So there are three people working, A plus B plus C, and it is A, the value of A is given, the value of B is given, the value of total is also given. So A is your 1/10, B is 1 by 24, C we have to find, and total is 1 by 6. So C will be 1 by 6 minus 1 by 24 minus 1 by 10. We can take the LCM. 6 and 24 will be 24. 24 and 10 will be 120. 24 5s are 120, 12. So this gives me 3 by 120, which is 1 by 40. That means C will complete the work in 40 days. All right. Basically, similar to the one that we picked in the example. Any doubts in this? Let me know. All right, let's move on to the next. Try this one first, then we will move on to the first and second. So this one is a sitter. W1 upon N1 T1 is W2 upon N2 T2. So question is saying that how many taps are required to empty the same vessel. That means work is same. So work will cancel out. N1, number of taps 30. T1, time is 24. N2 we have to find, and time is 20 minutes. So one equation, one variable. So this one was extremely easy. Right. Let's move to the next. Try this. All right, so let's try this. So, if you read this question properly, it is based on your observation more. Without using pen and paper, you can solve this by applying a simple logic. Listen to me carefully. So, there are two pipes that can fill a tank in 12 and 20 minutes. Both pipes are open together, and after some time, the first pipe is closed. That means after a particular amount of time, the first pipe is closed, but the second pipe is never closed. Second pipe has been opened for the entire 10 minutes, right? Now, second pipe can fill the entire tank in 20 minutes, but the tank is open only for 10 minutes. That means second pipe must have completed half the amount of work, 10 by 20, isn't it? So second pipe has completed half of the work. So first pipe will complete the remaining half, right? First pipe can fill the entire tank in 12 minutes. So half the work will be in 6 minutes, right? So I'm just repeating. So basically the tank is full in 10 minutes. There are two pipes, first and second. First has been opened and then closed. So we cannot tell anything about first certainly. But second was never closed. So second has worked for entire 10 minutes. 20 minutes he takes, but he has worked for 10 minutes only. That means 10 by 20, which is half. So second pipe has completed 50% of the work. So first pipe will complete the remaining 50%. First pipe can fill 100% of the tank in 12 minutes. So 50% of the tank, 12 ka half, 6 minutes. Right? So just by observing, just without using any calculation, any pen paper, you can solve this. I hope it is clear. Let's do a similar type of this with more number of pipes now. Try this. All right, let's try this. So there are three pipes K, B, and S. They are open to fill a tank. 5 minutes later, pipe S was turned off. So let's say this is the starting point and this is the end point. So starting May, all three pipes are opened. After 5 minutes, S was turned off. And after 8 minutes, B was also off. In how many more minutes pipe K would fill the rest of the tank? So we have to find this duration, which I am representing by X minutes. 5 minutes later, S was turned off. So this must be 5 minutes. All right. And B was open for only 8 minutes. Five here, three more. Clear? So now I know that S has worked for 5 minutes, B has worked for 8 minutes, and K has worked for 8 plus X minutes. K completes 1 by 20 work because it takes 20 minutes. B completes 1 by 60 work and S completes 1 by 30 work. S has worked for 5 minutes. In 1 minute, 1 by 30, 5 minutes, 5 by 30. S has been taken care of. Now B. B in 1 minute, 1 by 60. So 8 minutes, 8 by 60. K. 1 minute, 1 by 20. 8 plus X minutes, 8 plus X by 20. And what does the second concept says? Total work is always equal to 1. One equation, one variable. So let's cancel it out. This is 1 by 6 and this is 2 by 15. So 8 plus X by 20 is 1 minus 1 by 6 minus 2 by 15. LCM is 30. So this gives me 8 plus X as 14. So X has 6 minutes. So I'm showing you every single step of calculation as well, though it is not required actually, because calculation should be done at your own end, right? So this one is just a more modified, a more complicated version of the previous question. Any doubts in any step you can ask. All right, let's move on to one more. Then we'll start with the next topic. Try this. So let's start. Two men or three women or four boys can do a piece of work in 52 days. Same piece of work will be done by one man, one woman, and one boy in how much time? So two men, three women, and four boys have the same efficiency. They are completing the work in 52 days. So two men is taking 52 days. So one man will take 52 into 2 days, because lesser is the people, more will be the time. One woman will take 52 into 3, and one boy will take 52 into 4. I hope it is clear. Now we have to find one man, one woman, one boy total. So time will be converted into work. You can take 1 by 52 common. LCM will be 12. Right? So seemingly a question which was quite calculation intensive can be solved very easily if you focus on the common part. That is the reason I did not write 104 here. 52 into 2, I left it as it is. 52 into 3, 52 into 4. Because I can see that 1 by 52 will come common. So that is how you make your job easier. Let's move on to the next topic. This is all about time and work. Next is time, speed, distance. How are these three related to each other? Distance equal to speed into time, or you can say speed equal to distance upon time, or you can say time equal to distance upon speed. So speed equal to distance upon time. Now there are three types of speed. This is the first one. This is your normal speed. Now there is another speed called as average speed. So what does average speed means? Average speed does not mean that you are finding the average of two, three speeds. No. Average speed is just a more practical version of normal speed. Average speed is total distance upon total time. See, whenever you cover a journey, your speed never remains constant. If there is obstruction, your speed decreases. If there is no hindrance, your speed increases. So entire distance is covered in how much time, that tells you the average speed. Right? Now, there is a special case of average speed as well. If distance is constant, if distance is constant, then average speed can be found as 2ab upon a plus b, where a and b are the speeds of the bodies. Right? So average speed is total distance upon total time. But if the case under consideration has the same distance, then the average speed will take the form of 2ab upon a plus b, where a and b are speeds of the respective bodies. Clear? So now you can see one question on your screen. Try that and answer in the chat box. So let's try this. So a person is going to his office at one third of the speed at which he returns from his office. So let's say he's returning at a speed of 3x. So he will come or go at a speed of x. X or x by 3 भी ले सकते हो, but the thing is I want to make the calculation part easier. So I'm taking 3x and x. So how to avoid calculation? By avoiding fractions, right? So I have to find the value of x. Now he's going, he's returning. That means distance is constant. So I can directly apply average speed is 2ab upon a plus b. Average speed is given as 12, 2 into x into 3x upon x plus 3x, which is 4x. So this directly gives me the answer as 8 kilometer per hour. Right? Let's move on to the next. Try this. So in covering 30 kilometer, Abhay takes 2 hours more than Samir. So we know that time is equal to distance upon speed. Let's say Abhay ki speed is SA and Samir ki speed is SS. I have to find the value of this variable. Now time is distance upon speed. So distance upon speed. This becomes Abhay's time, distance upon speed. This becomes Sameer's time. And the difference between these two times is 2 hours. That is what the question is saying. Abhay takes 2 hours more. Similarly, if Abhay doubles his speed, distance upon speed, distance upon speed. If Abhay doubles his speed, he takes 1 hour lesser. So difference of this is 1 hour. Two equations, two variables. You have to find Abhay's speed. If I add these two equations, Sameer ki speed will cancel. 2 plus 1 is 3. And this plus this minus this. So the LCM will be 2SA. So that will be 60 minus 30. So 3 tens are 2 fives are. So speed of Abhay will be 5 kilometer per hour. You can note this. If you have any doubts, let me know. Right? Okay. Let's move on to the next. Try this. This is very easy. The postman is riding a bicycle at 15. So speed is 15, time is 4. So distance will be speed into time, 60 kilometer. Now distance is 60 kilometer. He is delayed by 1 hour. So time remaining is 3 hours. Time is distance upon speed. That gives me 20 kilometer per hour. So this was a sitter. Right. So the next topic is boats and stream. So see, generally people used to consider this in school, downstream, upstream, very difficult, but this is the easiest part of time speed distance because in this you know what to apply, right? Time speed distance may in general speed, where to apply speed equal to distance upon time, time equal to distance upon speed. Sometimes it becomes a bit dicey, as we saw in that uh, in this question, right? So it becomes a bit tricky. But boats and stream questions are straightforward. So let's say boat ki speed is b and stream ki speed is s. Now, boat is moving or flowing in a stream. So there can be two cases. Either the boat will flow with the water or the boat will move against the water. If the boat is moving with the water, its speed will increase because boat has its own speed and stream is also helping it to trudge ahead. Right? If it is moving against the water, its speed will be reduced. Boat has speed B. Water is creating an obstruction in its path. So if it is moving with the flow of water, that is known as downstream. And if it is moving against the flow of water, that is known as upstream. So downstream speed is equal to B plus S and upstream speed is equal to B minus S. If I add these two equations and subtract these two equations, I'll get two results. If I add, I'll get B equal to half ds plus us. And if I subtract, I'll get s equal to half ds minus us. So these four equations you have to keep in mind. You can note this down. Let's do some questions on this. Try this. So again, this can be solved in 5 seconds. Boat की speed is 13. Stream की speed is 4. So downstream speed will be B plus S. That means 13 plus 4, which is 70. Question is asking me find the time. Time is distance upon speed. Distance is 68. Speed is 17. So the time will be 4 hours. Right? So nothing was required in this. Let's move on to the next. Again, as I mentioned, upstream, downstream questions are easy. This one is also pretty straightforward. Upstream speed is given as 2/3 of downstream speed. So that means upstream upon downstream is 2 upon 3. Question is asking me boat की speed and stream की speed का ratio बताओ. So B upon S, boat is half ds plus us and stream is half ds minus us. Half से half cancel. T plus 2, 5. T minus 2, 1. Right? Let's move on to the last topic of today's session, divisibility rule. So divisibility rule में there are few numbers whose divisibility rule you should know. All of these numbers are taught in school, so it is just a revision of whatever we learned. So let's take a random number and let's try to find out whether this number is divisible by 2 or not, 4 or not, and so on. So divisibility rule of 2 is last digit. If last digit of a number is divisible by 2, that means entire number is divisible by 2. So in this case, last digit is 5. 5 is divisible by 2? No. So the number is not divisible by 2. Right? 4 is last two digits. Last two digits of this number is 45. 45 is divisible by 4? No. So number is not divisible by 4. 8 is last three digits. 345. 345 is divisible by 8? No. So number is not divisible by 8. Right? So 2 is 2 की power 1, so last digit. 4 is 2 की power 2, last two digits. 8 is 2 की power 3, last three digits. 16 is 2 की power 4, last four digits, and so on. Now 3. 3 का divisibility rule and 9 का divisibility rule is same. Sum of digits. So let's find the sum. 5 plus 4, 9 plus 3, 12 plus 2, 14 plus 1, 15. Digits का sum is 15. 15 is divisible by 3? Yes. So the number is divisible by 3. 15 is divisible by 9? No. So the number is not divisible by 9. I hope it is clear till this point. 6. 6 ka rule is dependent on 2 and 3. So if a number is divisible by both 2 and 3, it will be divisible by 6 as well. Is this number divisible by 2? No. So the number will not be divisible by 6 because it has to be divisible by both 2 and 3. Right? 5. Last digit should be 0 or 5. So this number has last digit 5. So this is divisible by 5. 10. Last digit should be 0 only. This number doesn't have, not divisible by 10. Right? Now the most important or most commonly asked is 11. 11 का rule is you will find the alternative addition. मतलब 5 plus 3 plus 1. What is that? 9. You will write here. Now remaining digits का sum. The other alternative pair. 2 plus 4. That is 6. You will write it here. You will subtract the smaller number from the bigger number. 9 minus 6. That gives you 3. Is 3 divisible by 11? No. So the number is not divisible by 11. I'm just starting again. So what is the rule of 11? Alternative addition. 5 plus 3 plus 1. 9. 2 plus 4. 6. 9 minus 6. 3. Is 3 divisible by 11? No. So number is not divisible by 11. Right? Now basically, suppose exam में they ask you कि whether this number is divisible by 22 or not. This number is divisible by 24 or not. This number is divisible by 15 or not. Now you might think कि यार ये तो सर ने पढ़ाया नहीं है, but it's not like that. I have taught all three, each three of them. How? You just have to connect the dots. What was the rule of 6? 6 is formed from 2 and 3. So the rule of 6 is the number which is divisible by 2 as well as 3. It will be divisible by 6 as well. So you just have to apply this concept. 15 is formed from 3 and 5. You know the rule of 3, you know the rule of 5, you know the rule of 15. 22 is 2 into 11. Number divisible by 2, number divisible by 11, number divisible by 22. 24, 3 into 8. 3 you know, 8 you know, 24 you know. Are you getting it? So by just remembering these numbers, you know a plethora of other numbers as well. So I hope it is clear. Divisibility rule is the most scoring topic, the easiest topic, and it will save your time as well. So whatever I have taught you till now, I have just written it on the screen in this slide basically. Now let's start with a question. Try this. It is asking you about the divisibility rule of 9, which is digits ka sum. So 7 plus 4, 11 plus 8, 19 plus 3, 22 plus 5, 27 plus a. So how can this number be divisible by 9 if a is any multiple of 9? So it can be 0, it can be 9, it can be 18, it can be 27, it can be 36 and so on. So my answer will be 0 or 9. Right. Let's do one more. Try one more. So which of the following number is divisible by 66? So 66 can be written as 6 into 11, and 6 into 11 can be written as 2 into 3 into 11. Now most people will take time in this question. What they will do? First option, check from 3, check from 2, check from 11. Second, 2, 3, 11. Third, it will take too much time. Rather than going horizontally, go vertically. First, let's check all the options whether they are divisible by 2 or not. Why I am asking you to do this? Maybe only one option is divisible by 2. So that will be the answer, isn't it? So this is divisible by 2. This is divisible by 2. This is divisible by 2. This is divisible. So 2 does not help our cause. Now let's start from 3. 3 ka rule is sum of digits. 9 plus 4, 8 plus 4, 12, 13. No. So this is not divisible by 3. So this cannot be the answer. Second option. 4 plus 3, 7, 8, 15, 19, 20. This is also not divisible by 3. Cannot be the answer. 7 plus 5, 12. This is 6. This is 9. This is 9. This is divisible by 3. This can be the answer. This is 12. This is 12. This is 10. This is 6. This is not divisible by 3. Cannot be the answer. So the only option is 3. Right. So basically we didn't even require 11. So that is how you can increase your speed as well. I hope it is clear to everyone. So this is all about today's session. Right. Tomorrow, I think you have 2 sessions with me, one after the other. So we'll meet tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll be finishing quant. Thank you so much for being patient.